What is up, everybody? Today is Wednesday, and it's also one of my favorite days of the week because we get to run track. Now, the way I look at it is track is special because I don't get to run fast that often. I limit myself to about 2 sessions per week, 3 at most, to run at paces that are normally faster than a regular run. Because of that, I try to make the most out of it, and I thought it would be a cool video to show you guys what I do, how I prep for track, and then the track workout later today. Now, I don't always eat breakfast, but I typically will for a track workout day just to get some extra fuel in. I keep it pretty simple. It's just gonna be some toast, some peanut butter, banana, stuff like that. Cool. One thing that is non-negotiable though is coffee. And I know every single content creator runner out there has their coffee B-roll, but it's just something that I really like. So I always make a cup of coffee in the morning. I know coffee can be a For me, I keep things pretty simple. I just use a Chemex and I make pour overs. I know coffee can be a very deep hobby, and I just haven't made that plunge yet, and I don't really want to because I don't really want to spend the money. But yeah, I just keep things pretty simple. While that coffee drips, let me show you guys what I do for my toast. Grab your bowl, and this is just what I do, and I don't know if anyone out there does this, but I have some hemp seed. I'll do maybe like a little bit under a tablespoon. Flax seed. I have some chia seeds here. And then I'll take some almond butter or peanut butter, whatever I'm feeling really. I will put it in here, and then I will just aggressively mix it. I probably need a little bit more. Let me get some peanut butter in there too. Yeah, so I'll just mix everything until it becomes all combined together. And then I'll use this as like my peanut butter spread. There you go. We got our toast, we got our spread. So we'll just do that. And for the banana, I mean, there are days where I will cut it up just to make it look more aesthetic. But most days, I'll just eat it as is. I don't have time. Here we go, cheers. I've eaten this so much, but it's so good every time. Such a typical runner meal, I feel like. I do work a 9 to 5, so unfortunately I can't just go work out whenever I want. But one thing I do is that I have this lacrosse ball, and I'll just constantly roll out my feet as I work. Having lunch right now. We are making salad. I usually keep things pretty simple. Just going to use this lettuce. I have some leftover turkey that I made. A lot of Parmesan cheese. An avocado a day keeps the doctor away. Ooh, look at that. That is beautiful. And a little bit of dressing, not too much. And we mix it all together. There we go, that's lunch. Just for some extra calories, I'm also going to have this nectarine. It is nectarine season right now, and I love this fruit. This is one of my favorite fruits, so I'm gonna enjoy this. I try to eat 3 to 4 hours before track, just to ensure that I'm not running on an empty stomach and I have enough energy to make it through the workout. Quick disclaimer, I am not a coach, nor do I claim to be one. I'm actually self-coached. I learn just from friends, or I watch a lot of content from people that are faster than me or have done what I'm trying to do, and I learn based on that. I have not read any of the marathon training books like Jack Daniels or Hanson's, and none of that. So I really just base things off my own experience and intuition. I probably will want to read the books at some point, but I just want to be honest and transparent with the audience here. Now for the workout, a website that I use is v.o2. Essentially what it does is it calculates your training paces as well as predicts your potential race times. So I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna choose an event distance. For me, I am normally a half marathon to marathon athlete. So I'm gonna choose marathon.
For time, I'm gonna go with 2:30 as an example. And then if I click calculate, it's telling me that I need to run 5:43 per mile to hit a 2:30 marathon. Something cool you can look at is race paces, training, and equivalent. So what I do is I go over to equivalent. And what this is telling you is the race times that it thinks you can run relative to the race that you've input. So with a 2:30 marathon time, it's predicting I can run a half marathon in 1:11:37, which is incredibly fast. It also thinks I could run a mile in 4:32, which is also really fast. So I think it's important to take this as a reference point and take things with a grain of salt. Just because you can run a 2:30 marathon doesn't mean you could run a 4:32 mile. And just because you could run a 4:32 mile doesn't mean you could run a 2:30 marathon. For my workouts, I really base things off of half marathon, 10K, and 5K race pace. Now, the faster the pace, the shorter the reps. And the slower the pace, the longer the reps. So what I mean by that is I'm not going to run 2K, 3K repeats at 5K pace. That just doesn't make any sense. On the flip side of that, I'm not going to run 200-meter repeats at half marathon pace because then I'm just not getting enough work in.
Another reason why I love track and I look at it kind of like a special day is because I get to wear shoes that I don't normally wear on a regular basis. I'm currently loving the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4 for my track workouts and tempo runs, but let me know in the comments what you're rocking and if you have any other recommendations. One of the most important things about track is the warm-up. Sometimes I warm up for longer than the track workout itself, but it's all about injury prevention and making sure that your body is healthy for racing. For my warm-ups, there's a huge emphasis on lower body, but I do think upper body is very underrated. I do a ton of shoulder mobility activation drills before I actually start doing the track workout. Before we do the workout, I always make sure I do a couple mile jog just to warm up the legs even more, right around maybe 2 to 3 to 4 miles ish. And I always set up a bottle right next to where I'm going to hit the repeat or finish the rep, just so I can get some hydration in right after the rep. Rep 1 done. Felt pretty good. Something that I need to work on is just pacing myself. I typically come out too fast and then I fall behind in the later reps sometimes. So just making a mental note so that it's something that I can continually work on a weekly basis. That was the second rep. I just told myself to slow down after rep 1, but ended up going way faster than I should have. So just a good reminder, stay disciplined. It's not a race, it's a workout. That's 3 reps. Still aiming for 3 minutes of rest just to get a bit more recovery in. Five reps in, 1 more to go. Feeling pretty good. I think given this last rep, I'm gonna give it everything I got and see where we are.
Made it back from track. The first thing that I do is make a protein shake. For the workout, I ended up doing 6 by 800. Pretty happy with the splits overall. We were able to negative split pretty much all of the reps, meaning we got faster and faster besides rep 2 and 3. For rep 1, we hit a 239. For rep 2, we hit a 234, which at that point I was thinking I was pushing it pretty fast. So I decided to slow down a bit. For rep 3, I hit 236. For rep 4, I started speeding it up again. I hit a 234. For rep 5, I hit a 231. And then for the final rep, the 6th rep, was a spicy one. I hit a 225. Felt pretty hard on that one, but I thought, last rep, best rep, so I gave it pretty much everything I had. I still gave myself 3 minutes between each rep this week, just because I wanted to get more recovery. With it being so far away from New York, doesn't really make sense to push the body and demand so much out of it so early on. So 3 minutes makes sense for me. And again, I called this out in my last video, but as we get closer and I build more fitness over the months, I will reduce the amount of rest I get in between each rep. Overall, really happy with the workout. I thought that this type of video also was really fun to make. I do really like the day in the life concepts because it's just what I would normally do in a day, but now I'm just documenting it and recording it and sharing with whoever wants to watch. So it's kind of nice just being able to look back and see all the things that I did throughout that day. Maybe for the next one, it could be day in the life during a long run, day in the life of a gym session, day in the life of going on a huge bike ride. I don't know, whatever I'm feeling, I will create. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the video. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, all feedback is good feedback. And for those that are tuning in once again, I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.